So your recruitment out of high school, you have a couple offers, you're committed a couple different places. What ultimately led you to say, South Carolina is where I want to be?
Guys like you, talked to Xavier when I was getting recruited. Beamer and D'Lo ultimately closed the deal. Like, I was talking to Beamer throughout my whole recruiting process. I was really the only coach on staff, and then, D'Lo came in. I started talking to him, talked to Zay, talked to you, talked to DK.
Good old Zay, bro. I mean, he's a trip, isn't he?
Crazy.
Crazy. You made a change earlier in the season from the rec specs to contacts. You've been able to notice a difference when you're out there on the field playing?
I mean, so that week in practice when the LSU week, I still practice in the goggles. And then Thursday was the first day I used the contact, and Saturday I was just like, or Friday I was just like, I'm just wearing the contact. I mean, it's not really that big of a difference. The biggest difference was just that, the contacts don't fog up, obviously.
Yeah. What's going on? I'm Luke Doty, current Gamecock football player. Join us each week as we talk Gamecock football with current and former Gamecock football players right here on 1801 Media. This episode of The Whole 9 Yards is brought to you by J.H. Seal & Son, a Southeast Petroleum transportation company. Family owned and operated for almost 100 years. The safety of our drivers and customers is our number one priority. Welcome back to The Whole 9 Yards. I'm your host, Luke Doty. Today we've got starting quarterback of the South Carolina Gamecocks, LaNorris Sellers. LaNorris, it's great to have you on. Been a wild couple months. How's it been just being the starting quarterback of the Gamecocks?
It's been fun. As you know, we've had our ups and downs this year. But for the most part, it's been fun. Everything you can dream of as a kid. Just looking forward to more moments.
More moments. That's what Beamer always talks about. It's just little moments that, that add up to what will become, obviously, a great season. So just jumping right into it, you go back to high school. You and I both won state championships. What was that experience like for you, and kind of how did that set you up for where you are today?
It was fun. Just, high school, it's not really just go out there and honestly play. It's not really like caring the world. Like, you have a test or something, and then you just go out there and have a game on Friday night. So it's like, it was fun playing with all the guys. You grew up together, just like bonding as a team because you've already grown up. So, but the difference between that and college is you don't know all these guys. So you got to create that bond as fast as you can to start playing and stuff, get on the same page and everything. So, that was the biggest thing for me.
That's so funny. You just take a math test and then you just roll the ball out there and go play. Yep. That's exactly how it was. So your recruitment out of high school, you have a couple offers. You're committed a couple different places. What ultimately led you to say, you know what, like South Carolina is where I want to be, and ultimately make that decision to come here?
Really, guys like you, I talked to Xavier when I was getting recruited, and then Beamer and D'Lo ultimately closed the deal. Like, I was talking to Beamer throughout my whole recruiting process. That was really the only coach on staff, and then, D'Lo came in. I started talking to him, talked to Zay, talked to you, talked to DK. So it's cool.
Good old Zay, bro. Did you see that video of him over in Germany?
Yeah, about the food. The sausage,
Dude, he's a trip, isn't he?
It's crazy.
Crazy. So you arrive in January. You're an early enrollee, and this is something I talked to Mazio about a couple weeks ago. What was that transition like for you? Because I remember you came in and you were really quiet. You didn't really say much, and you just kind of put your head down and you went to work. And that was something I always really appreciated. So kind of walk us through that. What was that transition like for you, going from, like you said, high school where you could just, go out and play, and now you're having to worry about study hall, class, all that kind of stuff?
It was different, like you said, having a study hall and the class and everything. And class can be at you have class at 2, then you have class at 7. So then you had study hall for an hour before. Then you had to get to class. Then you had to find parking and all this stuff. But that between that and then the workouts was the biggest thing. The workouts was rough that year when I first got here. But I mean, we finished them or whatever. Football was still football, just a lot faster. Had to get used to that, obviously. But like football is football. But the class thing, the study hall, and then the workouts was 3 of the toughest things.
You never done nothing like the Luke Day workouts,
nah.
Dude, I mean, I don't think anybody really knows like how difficult those things can be. Yeah. Like I think if you had a normal person or anybody else come in and try to do those things, like we'd probably have like problems. You know what I mean? Like the people wouldn't make it through.
Nah, they wouldn't.
Dude, so the quarterback room last year, we had me, you, Spencer, Tanner, Colton.
Yeah.
Who else? Was that it?
Braden was in there for a little bit.
Braden was in there for a little bit. Dude, talk about how like that whole room was just so full of personalities. Dude. And like it was crazy. Talk about how like what that dynamic of that room was like, because that's something that also doesn't get, you know, the appreciation that it should.
Yeah.
Because we had so many guys in there, and obviously Spencer was a starter, but kind of talk about how that dynamic was. Kind of shed some light on that.
I think that was just one big party. Every day was a party. It was something different every day. We was always laughing and joking. We got football done, but once we got the football done, it was just it was over with. It was over with. But I think about that room a lot. We had a good room, fun room. Even to the practice field when we traveling and stuff, like it's the same thing. We all went to all the games, so just like one big party family.
Dude, it was fun too during like you said at practice during the indie period.
Yeah, indie period, special teams period.
The individual periods during special teams, we'd set up those the nets or buckets or whatever, and we would just have like a competition every day, like who could hit the most, you know, targets, or who could make it in the bucket, like stuff like that. And I think that kind of goes to show the kind of room that we had. That Spencer was a starter, but we had so many guys in that room that rooted for each other, and whenever somebody else is out there on the field, that's who we were cheering for. No matter if it was Spencer, you, me, Tanner, Colton, whoever it was out there, we were always cheering for them. And I think that's the coolest part.
Yeah.
So you got to sit behind Spencer for a year, all last year, and kind of learn from him. What was that like, and what did you take from him just to go into your game this year?
Really, his confidence. I tell people all the time, he was just confident. He knew that he can make any throw, and he'd go out there and just like make the throw and just be like, I mean, I told y'all I can do it. So it was a confidence thing. He was a hard worker. He got done what he needed to get done.
Yeah.
He took everything serious. And he was a competitor.
He was damn good competitor. I mean, you go back to that, like the individual stuff. Like I think there was one day where me and him we were going like bucket for bucket. You could see it. You'd always tell with him when he would get in that mode.
Yeah. Like
you could see the switch get flipped really fast, and he'd go from like the like goofy Spencer to like, all right, I'm locking in. I'm locking in. Like this is over. I'm done. Dude, that's awesome. And he was the ultimate like preparer. You know what I mean? Like I remember I'd always come in, and you know, me and you'd always go in there and watch film, and he'd already like gotten it done and been there, and obviously it helped him out. You know, he's in the league now. So you had some opportunities to play in a couple games last year. What was it? Furman, Kentucky.
Kentucky, yeah.
So going through those games and being in those moments, how did that prepare you and kind of give you, you know, some confidence and a sense of what it's like to play at the college level?
It just gave me a glimpse, really. You know, I was in like third or fourth quarter, Vandy's fourth quarter. Kentucky was the actual like first quarter.
Yeah.
First time I got hit in this like by a SEC linebacker. So I mean, it just gave me a glimpse, and it gave me some confidence, obviously. And then once I got hit by the dude from Kentucky, it was kind of like, all right,
yeah,
this is real. Yeah.
it.
So after that, I was fine. So I mean, it helped me out a lot. I needed that. It was good to get
I mean, you can tell now, like, just doing what you're doing, and like I said, I remember the week after that.
Yeah.
You're like, man, I'm hurting a little bit. You know, I'm a little sore, and we were all joking around, like, yeah, welcome to the SEC,
Yeah.
and it's funny to see, like, think about that, and then here you are now, like, you're one of the faces of college football, and you know, doing what you do every single Saturday. Like, it's really, really cool to see, especially for an old head like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about D'Lo in your recruitment process. What was that? What's it like having a coach like him, a mentor as your offensive coordinator, and just playing in that pro style offense? Like, how has he, you know, helped you develop as a player? And just being in a pro style offense where you've got motion shifts, you're getting to kind of call your own shots in some sense. How has that affected you as, you know, a quarterback and playing the game?
It just gives you a lot of control, and it's like, if he can trust you, then that builds trust and confidence in yourself too. So it's just kind of like, and with him being in the NFL, like, he's been around guys with different strengths and all that, so like, he knows our strengths. So it's kind of like, his offense is just like building you, helping you get ready for the future.
Yeah.
Because like, if you want to go to the NFL, like things like that, that's what you're gonna do. So it's preparing you ultimately, and then it's just like, it's good because it's like you're actually learning, you understand protections, coverages, certain plays, while he's calling certain plays. You just get on the same page as him. So I mean,
yeah, I always see, like, I think it was either yesterday morning or evening. I see you coming up in there, and you know, just having that preparation and that, you know, I guess that same routine of just, like you said, getting on the same page with him, that definitely takes your game to another level. And you could see it in the way you play. Like, you know, I'm sure, you know, like, whenever we get a certain signal or, like, you get a certain play call, like, you already know what it is. And I mean, me being in the same position as you were a few years back, like, that was something that I always tried to do, was like, you know, I see something that is getting signaled in, like, you already know what it is. And obviously you're playing so fast that, you know, you kind of expect the next couple calls, and obviously D'Lo does a great job, you know, just preparing you. So kind of talk about how, you know, you prepare yourself, and just how many hours it takes to, you know, be an SEC quarterback. Because a lot of people just think, oh, it's, you know, it's his job. Like, he's a quarterback. Like, he should know all this. But a lot of people don't really know how much time it takes to get good at, you know, your craft. So talk about a little bit about that. Like, what does that look like for you, and how do you get prepared?
It starts on Mondays. You know, Mondays usually our day off. Start with film on Mondays, obviously. Then we have, you know, meetings, breakfast, recovery, getting tape and all that. So, I mean, you probably have practice too, so you probably done with that at like 1. So that's already like 6-7 hours right there starting. And then you have, like, you know, class and all that. After class, that's when they send out the installs or send out the next day's game plan. So it's kind of like you got to go over all that. So at this point, you probably at like 8 hours. And then you got to watch more film. Or, like, if it's like a Tuesday, you watch film for Wednesday, which is third down. And then if it's a Wednesday, you want to watch film on Thursday, which is the red zone. So that's what, another hour. So that's like 9 to 10 hours right there every single day, just watching football. Yeah. And then once you get done with that, you just want to, like, lay down and chill. You don't want to do nothing else.
I will get to that in a minute, because it is hard to find time to just, you know, get away from it all. And you know, obviously it comes with the territory, but you've got a lot of distractions. You know, you got social media, the news crew people, like all types of stuff, and it's hard to manage all that stuff. So you being you, and I know how I know how you are.
Yeah.
how do you keep yourself grounded and just kind of in the moment and I guess tune out all the noise? Like how do you stay grounded and maintain a consistent level of play?
Check out Cromers.com for your holiday gifts this season. Share a taste of a true South Carolina legend with our holiday-themed popcorn tins. And gift baskets like our cream of the crop with a sampling of all your Cromers favorites, including peanuts, popcorn, cotton candy, and old-fashioned peanut brittle. We have last-minute gift ideas for everyone in your life, and it's easy to shop, ship, and gift from our online store. Do your holiday shopping at Cromers.com today. Cromers, guaranteed worst in town since 1935.
How do you stay grounded and maintain a consistent level of play?
I really just don't worry about it. I just think all right, let's do it. Let's just get it over with. And I try to forget about it, not get caught up in it too much. I mean, I am. It's just kind of hey, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
And then it's the next thing. I don't plan ahead. That. It's just kind of all right, we need you to do this. All right, fine. I'll do it. And then it's then I'm just back to doing whatever I was doing before.
Yeah.
So it's
that and again, a lot of people don't know this, and maybe they do, but this guy's like a robot. Eats, sleeps, breathes football, and I won't talk about your snack drawer because the snack drawer is crazy. This guy eats more than anybody that I know. But I mean, yeah, dude, it is like an old OC always told me. He had a saying. This Mike Bobo at Georgia now. My freshman year, he'd always say, "Lock the doors and ignore the noise." And that's something that I've always tried to live by because it's true. You lock the doors and you're in whatever it is, the facility, the field, whatever it might be, you're in that place with your teammates, your coaches, staff, whoever it is. And those are the only people that matter. You know what I mean? And that's something, like I said, that's something I've always tried to live by. And obviously you do a great job of that because you're very, very consistent and you keep your head's always on straight. There hadn't been a day where I've been like, man, LaNorris is a little bit off because I mean you're the same guy every single day. And I think, I guess going into it a little bit, does that go back to your support system, like your family? I see your family pretty much every single game that we've been at. So what do those people mean to you, and who is that in your close circle? Your support system? Yeah.
Like you said, my parents and my two younger brothers, my granddad, grandma, my uncle, just usually, I mean, it just means a lot. They've been at pretty, like you said, every game, home or away. Growing up, same thing. Home or away games, they were always there. When I need something, they're there. If I need to talk, they're there. It's just all you can ask for, really. Yeah. It's not much you can really say about it, but yeah, they're always there.
I always love seeing your dad after the game because he's always no matter what the outcome is, he's always smiling and just they're always, like you said, they're always there for you. And I think that's really cool to be able to come out of the locker room after the game and you've got your family there. That's something that I always loved, just having my family there. And obviously it's closer, Florence is closer to Columbia than Myrtle Beach is, but at the same time it's still a stone's throw away. So it's good to have be able to be close because you can go home whenever you want. And it's nice to be able to do that. Talk about Ramon Robinson a little bit. He was at the game this past weekend. You've trained with him, I'd assume, your whole life, kind of like me, Davis, a bunch of other guys in the state of South Carolina. How has he been, for you as a mentor, and just a guy that's kind of been in your shoes and has been through, the college, pros, all that different stuff, and trained a lot of guys. How has that been for you, just kind of learning from him?
It's been good. That's another person in my support staff too, just because he's been through it, like you said. But Ramon's been around for a little minute now for me.
He has, hasn't he?
Yeah. During the off season, I'm pretty much with him every week. I'm working out, sometimes twice a week. During the summer, he comes up here. I mean, just need him. I mean, you have to practice and build repetition to be what you want to be good at. And he helps me with that too. So it's like, but he's not only a trainer, like he also like talks. And like I said, he's there if you need to talk about something. He talks about the game. Just being supportive, honestly.
Yeah, I'm sure he gives you a different perspective, you know, on like the game and kind of what he sees. Like I said, he's been in your shoes, and it's cool to have somebody like that. Did you ever go up to the old Woodmont Middle?
Yeah,
did you ever train up there?
Yeah, I did. I went to a couple of 707s up there.
Yeah.
Too many people. I didn't really enjoy it, but I mean, it was for him, so I went up there.
Yeah. I remember going up there and like, I think I first trained with him up there. I was like 6th or 7th grade. And I remember we were staying at my grandparents' house. They live up in Greenwood. And he hit me up and he's like, hey, man, like, why don't you come train? It was like the first time I'd done something like that. So, you know, I go up there, didn't really know what to expect. I remember the first workout, I got in the car and I was like, dude, I am gassed. Like, I'm so tired. Because he puts you through it, man. It definitely pays off. And you talk about consistency, and like you said, you got to have those repetitions to become, you know, what you want to be. Kind of talk about how, you know, you maintain a consistent level of play week in and week out, because if, you know, you go back to, you know, week 1, obviously you've improved your game up to this point now. Every single week you've stepped on the field, you have been a better quarterback than you were the week before. And I think that just goes to, you know, show like the kind of, obviously the kind of person you are, but just the consistency that you approach the game with. What does it take to maintain that?
Really just good preparation. Like having a good week of practice, obviously, and then doing the extra work. Like the more you know, the better, obviously. So, I mean, once you get like the game plan, you get their scouting report, whatever, like you just look over that, study it, and you go out there, you practice it. Look back over it as just like recalling everything. It's just like you just keep learning, keep getting better. You know what to expect. You won't be out there thinking. You just be out there reacting, which is something else they say in the facility. So I mean, I just take it like that.
He'll do anything for a good day of practice, won't he?
Anything.
He'll do anything for a good day of practice, and like you said, man, it's you know, that's what it starts with, and you know, it's fun to look back on, you know, the weeks that we have had a lot of success, obviously on offense. They always come on our best weeks of practice. And, you know, those are hard to come by. I mean, obviously, because we've got a talented team. And it's good because we go up against the best every single day. So, I mean, it's paying off, you know, and it's starting to show that, you know, with good preparation, like you said, that, you know, you can beat whoever, you can go toe to toe with whoever. So kind of going away from football a little bit, what's your life like outside of football? I think I know the answer to this, but I'll let you kind of shed some light on that.
Really pretty much nothing, honestly. TikTok, sleep.
TikTok and sleep.
YouTube. Like watching movies.
I was just about to say, have you watched any good movies lately?
Yeah. Don't ask me which, because you'll put me on the spot, and
I wasn't gonna do that, but
but yeah, that's pretty much nothing, honestly. Just
is Fight Club still your lock screen?
Yes, it is.
It's such a good movie. That's awesome. You made a change earlier in the season from the rec specs to contacts. Have you been able to notice a difference when you're out there on the field playing, and what's that? What kind of inspired that change?
I mean, so you know that week in practice when the LSU week.
Yeah.
Before, I still practice in the goggles, and then Thursday was the first day I used the contacts, and Saturday I was just like, or Friday I was just like, I'm just wearing the contacts. I mean, it's not really that big of a difference. The biggest difference was just that, I mean, the contacts don't fog up, obviously, but the goggles fogged up. Not a lot, but like. Sometimes you keep them on too long, they'll fog up. But it wasn't like nothing that would make me stop wearing them.
Right.
So I just ultimately made the change just because it was just like, it was easier.
Comfort.
And yeah. So
I get that. I know there was like speculation, like, oh my God, he can't see.
You can't see
like,
it.
Come on.
No, that wasn't that.
Anybody that watches the game, you could see.
Yeah.
Like, oh man. So you've been a part of some big moments here. A lot of great games, obviously last year, and this year you've been a part of some great wins, some great moments, like we talked about a little bit ago. Just going forward, kind of looking ahead, what are some things that you hope to accomplish? Obviously, you've got a lot of time left. You're still, what are you? You just turned 19, didn't you?
Yeah.
You got a lot of time left. You got a big career ahead of you. What are some things that you hope to accomplish here in your next few years?
I mean, obviously, you want to win a national championship or make the playoffs, win a national championship like that. You want to not lose to Clemson, win as many games as you can, and pretty much just the basics. Put myself in the best situation to achieve like other goals like NFL, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, get a degree. Get a chance to play with my brother too.
Yeah,
so,
dude, that's gonna be really cool.
So
that's gonna be. He gets here. Is he enrolling in January?
December, January. Yeah.
Ooh,
so
that'll be fun.
Yeah,
that'll be a good time, dude.
Just that really off the top of my head.
Yeah,
so.
That's awesome, man. Well, going back to obviously, and I asked Mazio the same question. If you could give any advice to upcoming high school athletes that are looking to get into college football, what's some advice that you might give them, just to keep working hard to make an impact on a team? Because obviously you've made a big impact so far at a very young age, at a very, quick start, I guess, to your career. What would you tell them, and just kind of what advice would you give them?
Really just prepare the right way for everything. If you prepare, you go out there, play free. Like I said, you just be reacting and not thinking, and then don't be afraid to make mistakes.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Want to give a shout out to Hometown 803 for the hat and all the gear that they have. If you want to check it out for the holidays, for gifts, whatever your needs are, go check them out and use my promo code Luke, Luke. This has been a great episode, LaNorris. I appreciate you coming on. Keep being you, and you're going to take us really, really far. And I am really proud of you. I just want to say that.
Appreciate it. Just
seeing how far that you have come since you got here, from being the guy that came in from Florence that was really quiet to how you are now, or who you are now, and just seeing how much you've grown and matured. Obviously, you're young. I'm an old head, so I remember, like I said, you came in and I was like, man, he reminds me of me. Just because when I got here, I was the same way, man. Like I was quiet, and I was like, I don't want to screw up. I don't want to, So I just put my head down and worked, and that's exactly what you did. And I don't think that's changed a bit, and obviously your personality's come out a little bit. Yeah. But keep being you, and you'll take us far. So I appreciate you.
Yep, appreciate you.